It's night, and you're a college student. You can feel a cold coming, and with nothing in your dorm to help, you head out to the local grocery store chain for some supplies. After a successful run and your groceries now in tow, you head out of the store and towards the parking lot. The man standing at the exit asks you for a lighter. You decline, thinking nothing of it. Once you approach your car door, however, you feel it. Cold, metal, and sharp. The pressure hits you right in your abdomen as it's pressed against you. You are told by the man wielding the knife to enter the passenger seat, where he subsequently takes your keys, your phone, and drives with you hostage in your very own car. This is the survival story of Jaila Gladden.
Husband is getting violent.
Jaila, thank you so much for doing this.
Meet Jaila Gladden. And at the time of this crime in 2017, she was 21 years old and attending the University of West Georgia. It was the beginning of September, but it was also late at night, between 10 to 11 p.m. Jaila had felt a cold or a flu coming on. As a result, she set out in her car to her local Kroger grocery store chain to buy some remedies, texting her boyfriend, Tamir Bryant, before she did so. It was only down the street. Jaila had spent a brief time there gathering her items, and when she was exiting the store to enter the parking lot, she was approached by a man.
As I was leaving Kroger, there was a red box on my left side, and I guess that's where he was standing. He asked me for a lighter, and I told him no and kept walking.
That man was later identified as 28-year-old Timothy Wilson. Timothy Wilson had been in and out of the prison system since he was 13, and he was residing outside of this specific Kroger looking for two things: his next source of cash and a car to get to Michigan. Timothy Wilson had this plan in motion to get to Bankhead Highway and rob a gas station, using the loot he would earn to fund the trip. Timothy Wilson stood by the exit of this store waiting for the right target, a knife hidden with him.
Stood in front of the Kroger and, according to the police report, waited there for an extended period of time before picking out his victim.
This is when Timothy Wilson sees Jaila Gladden, asks if she has a lighter, and then follows her to her vehicle after she responds with a no.
I really thought after he asked me for a lighter and I said no, that was just going to be the end of it.
A security camera was able to capture Timothy Wilson approaching Jaila Gladden with his weapon and forcing her into her own vehicle. The footage continues to show the car then drive away with the both of them in it. Once seizing the vehicle, Timothy Wilson takes Jaila's keys and phone and proceeds to drive towards Atlanta. He makes his way to an empty parking lot where he parks somewhere he can be hidden from view and rapes Jaila Gladden at knife point.
He told me to take my clothes off, and I tried to plead with him, and he told me that there was no purpose of crying. I didn't know what to do.
Afterwards, Jaila Gladden is able to persuade Timothy Wilson, despite her fears, into sharing his plan of action. Wilson explains that he wants to get to Bankhead Highway, where he intends to rob a gas station along the street. However, he struggled to find one. Thankfully, Jaila took the opportunity to influence him into giving her back her phone so she can give him directions he needs from the passenger seat.
He wanted to rob a gas station, so I told him I couldn't get him where he needed to be unless I had my phone. It was kind of an ultimatum of figure out where you're going and give me my phone or wander aimlessly.
While navigating for the man holding her captive, Jaila is able to lower the brightness on her phone, which effectively obscures it, making it so Timothy Wilson cannot see her screen without taking his eyes off of the road. Jaila uses this to her advantage and sends her GPS location to her boyfriend. Jaila Gladden's boyfriend, Tamir Bryant, was asleep originally when Jaila sent her location. Thankfully, Jaila's text notifications had a unique ringtone assigned just for her, which he believes is what woke him up.
My boyfriend Tamir is a very, very hard sleeper. It's almost impossible to wake this man up.
I was actually asleep for the night. She texted me at 2 o'clock. I remember hearing a tone, and I see that it's late, and she sent me her location. I texted her, asked her where was she at, what was she doing, and she just sent one word back, kidnap. And that's when my whole body went cold.
Upon arrival at the Bankhead Highway gas station, Timothy Wilson puts Jaila in the trunk of her car and attempts to rob the place, shortly coming back unsuccessful. The clerk was behind bulletproof glass and the criminal wielded only a knife. Wilson then decided to hit up a second location, a different Kroger, taking Jaila out of the trunk once more to navigate for him. After arriving and placing Jaila in the trunk a second time, Wilson enters the second Kroger, but sees that they have a security guard and decides to head back. The assailant's intent was to wait in the car until morning, possibly to try again. Thankfully, while all this was going on, Tamir Bryant was hard at work getting the police involved. With access to Jaila's live location, the hunt between the local police and Timothy Wilson begins. While Wilson turns onto Interstate 20 heading towards Atlanta and onto Monroe Drive, police were catching up to them trying to find ways to cut off Wilson's path. It is when Jaila and the assailant reach Midtown that she's able to notice the police lights signaling that rescue is near.
I saw them before he was able to, so before he tried to make a run for it, I kind of already saw the police officers set up on how they cornered us.
Once suspect Timothy Wilson notices he is the target of a police chase, he would eventually wreck the car by crashing into other vehicles near an apartment complex in Midtown. After wrecking the vehicle, both Jaila Gladden and Timothy Wilson would take off on foot. However, while Jaila would be running towards the rescue of police, Timothy Wilson would run in the opposite direction.
What happened?
She actually FaceTimed me while running down the street towards police officers. The best moment of the night. I knew she was safe and I knew she was going to come back to me.
Timothy Wilson attempted a minor escape on foot before eventually cutting himself and getting caught by police 10 hours later. Kroger would make this statement upon being notified of the crime. We are deeply saddened by the terrible suffering Ms. Gladden endured from these atrocious criminal acts. We extend our sympathy to Ms. Gladden, her family, and her friends. We have been and will continue to assist the Atlanta Police Department and Carrollton Police Department in any way we can to help bring this criminal to justice. Jaila Gladden and her attorney, Rod Dixon, filed a lawsuit against the shopping center Kroger, determining that the security at the location where Jaila was kidnapped to be inadequate, especially given the fact that the presence of a guard deterred him from robbing the second Kroger location. As of recording, I was unable to find the result of this lawsuit. Timothy Wilson has been charged with rape, aggravated sodomy, false imprisonment, and aggravated assault against a police officer, and has been given a life sentence. Timothy Wilson pleaded guilty to kidnapping, aggravated assault, and hijacking a vehicle. DNA from the knife would be what connected him to the crime, resulting in these charges.
Hey everybody, apologies for the huge shift in tone, but I just wanted to thank you so much for watching, and if you could please like, comment, and subscribe to this video, that would be greatly appreciated, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.